Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know who it is. It is yours truly, the Lord Nelson, that is. Yes, indeed. Host of the podcast Live and Loud with the Lord on the CMS network with 5 Royals Entertainment. And ladies and gentlemen, another special guest. I keep them coming. I can't help it. I'm just blessed that way. This young man is... Listen. You know I like to read things about people, right? And so he's going to represent for his band. So I'm going to read off the things that, once I listen to their music, I like to write a little something, just doing what I do. So if he doesn't mind, I'm going to read this off right here. So ladies and gentlemen, these young men bring that energy to their music by combining different elements of different genres to create something special for the listeners and watchers. They love the cards they've been dealt, and they're going all in, man. Yes, indeed. Nothing like when you bet on yourself and succeed, and this is what they've done. The way they drive their fans into a frenzy when they perform is awesome, and it's clear they are on the fast track to something great. I believe it. I believe it. So without further ado, I now welcome to the Live and Loud with the Lord podcast, the amazing Traverse the Abyss, yeah! And of course, we have Mr. Eric Abyss, correct? Is that your actual name?
Pseudo name, stage name.
But... I like you. Now, listen, I got you. I feel you.
It's cool, though, how many people do mention, they're like, dude, that has to be awesome that your last name's Abyss. And I'm like, yep, sure is. It sure is.
Hey, listen, I feel you, man. So the first question always is, where are you from, young man?
We are from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Same place as The Office, Motionless in White, Breaking Benjamin.
Yes, indeed. Awesome. So what's the best thing about being from Scranton, man?
The music scene is pretty awesome.
Oh.
Coming to hang out?
Yeah.
All right, we got a little one joining. The music scene within Scranton is great. Say hi.
Hello.
Say hi. You got Jesse down? Yeah. This is my little one.
Hey, I feel you.
Scranton, I love it's home. Uh-huh. The nice part geographically as a band, we are like 2 hours away from just about everything. Like,
right.
New York City's 2 hours away. Harrisburg is 2 hours away. Philly's 2 hours away. Baltimore's like 3 hours away. You gonna watch your show, dude? Okay. All right. But we're in a nice niche. So like as an independent band, we're able to run weekenders to do like Friday to Sunday type gigs, right, and be able to hit 3 different markets, but we're only a stone's throw away versus if you're out in fucking Iowa, you know what I mean? It's just like you got a haul just to see your neighbor, never mind go skip around venues to see different artists. And everyone within our scene is very supportive. Like I was talking to one of my buddies yesterday, and he was saying that like in his place, he's like, dude, it's like a war zone. He's like, everybody, all these bands are like out for each other's throat, and instead of being supportive, really? And I'm like, that makes me pretty grateful about where I'm at, because just about everybody is like, doesn't matter if you're hip hop to pop punk to metalcore, like everybody's pretty tight niche, and they all root for each other whenever someone's doing well. So I appreciate that about my area.
Oh, no doubt. That's awesome. So the big question right now, though, so you being kind of centralized, now the real question, and I want you to prepare yourself for this because I need that real answer. And it's that's right. Getting your Zen moment. We need this. It's got to be the right. Now, it doesn't have to be the right answer. It's just got to be your answer. Steelers or Eagles, man?
Oh, see,
Oh my goodness! You see the hats back there? Let me point to each side.
I do. I just gotta make sure my mom's not watching. See, I'm the weird one. Out of all my family are die-hard sports fans, and I'm like, my theory is I'm from PA, so whatever teams are from PA,
you support them.
I'll root for them.
I love it. I love it. I say the same thing about South Carolina. Clemson, is ones, a couple of the national championships. South Carolina had in football, they haven't, but the basketball team, the female Gamecocks have. But it's like, I didn't go to either school or any of the schools, so I just support South Carolina. So that's what I do. Yeah, so I understand what you're saying, man.
That's across the board. Like I'll go Pirates and Phillies for baseball. I got Penguins and Flyers for hockey. Like I'm all about it. I think PA, we just got 76ers though for basketball. I believe,
right. Just 76ers. That's right. No, that's all love though, man.
My mom is diehard Philadelphia. Everything. So I always bust her. Be like, how come Pittsburgh's colors look more like trophies, like black and gold? Shut up. I'm like, well, I'm just saying, who has more wins? Shut up. So, I always scorch her with
it. Yeah. You got to give her the business, man. You got to give her the business love, man. So, young man, who's the visionary of Traverse the Abyss?
That'll be me alongside with my co-pilot, Iron Mike, our guitar player.
Iron Mike.
We were we sculpted this project. We played in a band together years ago. It was my first band. I think I was maybe Mike's second,
right?
But his first metal band. And we did that for a few years and we had a decent local following. And then that kind of fizzled away. Me and him joined another group for about a year or so. I was playing bass at this time instead of singing and playing guitar, which was in my other group. He stays on guitar because that's what he's good at. And eventually it just wasn't working because we liked the band. We enjoyed traveling with everybody and whatnot, but it was just kind of like one of those things that's it's just not. Oh, we got the other one. Say hi. No, that's the Husky.
That's the Husky, yes indeed.
But it just wasn't our group. So it was and then one of their friends that they really wanted to play bass became available with his group, and they're like, well, we might go with him. And I was like, kind of do your thing. If that's where your mind is, then that tells me everything.
Right.
So then Mike ended up leaving, and mainly we were just we learned so much about them because we went from a garage band to again, being in Pennsylvania Northeast, it was every weekend we're in 2 different states, and it was just oh, I didn't know bands do this. Oh, you fucking could have. I didn't shit. You know what I mean? So it was just giant learning experience, and I'm grateful for them for that, and made us take a lot to this group when we started back in 2016. We didn't even release our songs until we had the album done. It was done. I had the jewel case and everything, and I was like, okay, now we could become public.
Right.
So that's kind of where we were at. We didn't want to have a product out that people couldn't purchase or support. Oh, well, here's our song. You can download it illegally, or you could pay $1. I'd rather be no, okay, here's some music. We have some merch available. We got some shows, and just it picked up because they put me in just a vocal position. As you can tell, I have no problem flapping my gums consistently. And even they have a special dedicated part on stage for me to do it. It's called the guitar change. But they are saying this is what my personality, because I just fire. As soon as the adrenaline hits that first note, it's just even yesterday, we're doing sound check and the drummer, he's hitting the kick drum and I was hitting the mic, and then the crowd starts clapping along to it. I felt bad. The sound man's probably come on, dude, I'm trying to get the drum sound.
Hey, man. We do what we do, man. Yes, indeed.
They threw me with the mic, and they're like, yo, you do the mic, just do your thing. And since then, it's just the energy we have together. Everyone always says, you see all the metal bands that have the Mr. Serious, and we're a bunch of goops up there. We're goofy. We all have a bunch of fucking fun with each other and run around. And even yesterday, we were watching the other bands. We shared the stage with Bleed From Within. They're from Scotland. Esther's actually first U.S. headliner tour.
Oh,
So
wow.
they're currently on the road with Devil Wears Prada and August Burns Red.
Oh, really?
So they're playing.
Yeah.
They're playing big shit.
No doubt.
And even the people yesterday, they're just writing on their phone in the messenger. They're like, you guys, just the energy and fun that you guys have with each other is just like, it's great. And that's just the vibe is we describe it as it's the party set.
Right, indeed.
We want y'all to have your drinks. If you're vibing like that, come up forward, come hang out. If you want to mosh, there's the pit area. Because all the time that shows you get it where the mosh pits are right in front of the stage. And it's like, that's cool and all, but like, I like having people like high five and do vocals in front of and stuff. Like my rule is like party up, like kind of like a mullet, like party, switch of the mullet, party in the front, business in the back.
I feel you, man. Listen, let me tell you what's beautiful. I always tell the guests who do it, man, is when I love the fact that you love to talk, because I love to talk too, but I love to listen also. But the thing is this, as you roll into so many things that I know I'm going to talk about, but I'm still going to talk about it, but I just love the fact that you're excited about it. You're doing what you're doing. So you said a lot of key things that I was just like, yeah, man, he's there. I love it. So
passion audiates and radiates out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like if you're not into something, it'll show versus like
100%.
Almost any show, interview, anything I'm doing, it's just like exciting that people are interested to
of course.
talk about my art and stuff. You know?
Man, I just always want to be, want to have a conversation. Like it's two brothers in a room. We're just kicking it, man. From back in the day, reminiscing about whatever. That's me. That's my whole aura. That's what I do, man. So your videos and stage presence screams fun. How much do you enjoy being musicians? Yeah.
Basically, that's just it. We for a while we had a bunch of videos were almost like stage clips or live shots, but they were silly too. And then
right.
It just spawned out for our song Faucet Mouth. It was oh my god, how'd that start? Our guitar player Mike, my co-pilot, he was like, "What if we did a music video?" Because it was during the hard breakdown part. I'm doing all like gutter vocals and stuff. Right. He's like, "What if we're all playing like first act Walmart instruments, like a Hello Kitty guitar?" And our drummer is like, "That's fucking stupid." So then the producer was like, "Oh yeah, you get the little tight drum set." Like it got spitballing, and then I forget how it even panned out into doing like a parody video.
Right.
And then I think we were just spitballing stupid things, and I was like, "Yo, what if we did the whole?" We got the track suits, we had the gold chains and everything. And then Jamie's like, "Well, my brother could let us use his Hummer, and it's awesome." Yeah. And I was like, "All right, what is our location? What if we spread it?" So then we did like a hip hop type scene, and then we had the country bumpkins.
Right.
The best part about that video is it was across the street where we did the hip hop scene where it was the pool and everything. That was the house, and then across the street's bumfuck field where we pulled up, and there's the giant bushels of hay, and we're like,
"It's there."
I don't think we have to look hard for another spot. And then we did kind of poked at our own genre a little bit because it's all in good fun.
Of course,
we did the metal scene where I was like, I had like the hair metal look. Jamie had like the black metal eye makeup.
Right.
And stuff.
Indeed.
So that's exactly it. We like to have fun and it audiates because there's so many bands that are angry, Mr. Serious, and I have to look like I'm pissed at the world at all times. And it's like, yeah, I feel that at times too, but like we're pretty just goofy and happy guys. Well, maybe not happy, but like we like to have fun. So that kind of audiates on ourselves.
Man, that's what it's supposed to be, man. So who's coming up with the treatments for your videos? I mean, you got a few of them out there, man. Is it just a collaborative thing?
Yeah, it kind of spitballs. We wanted to follow up Faucet Mouth with something ridiculous because we all like Halloween time. So that's kind of
right.
Where Frankenshuffle came into play. And that was like, what if we bleed the end of the other video into this one and then just tired. What's the matter? You're tired? Yeah. All right, we're gonna be laying down soon, all right? You want to go watch your show for a couple more minutes? Okay. The little ones. She's adorable.
Yes, of course.
That's what makes it even better is getting to see when your kids are like involved with it. because she'll come and like watch me practice and stuff, or like play guitar and everything. So
that's awesome.
You want to try some? Yeah. All right, we got Welch's Island fruit snacks. We get her the big headphones like for the gun ranges and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a show that she has to come along with, or anything that's local, that's like outside or anything. So
yeah, I've seen many people do it, man. Yes, indeed. No doubt.
We just did a local show at the beginning of March that was all ages, and there was quite a few people who brought their kids.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the set, they wanted an encore, and
that's like, awesome.
Oh, we do have one song left, and then we had all the younger kids. We're like, "Yo, you are the ones who are going to make this go forward."
Hello.
Not as much the 40-year-olds, you know. It's
right.
If we can infect the 10, 11-year-olds into metal music, then that's a great start for our future. You're gonna see Corey. That's your brother. You're not gonna see him probably till the weekend, babe. But we brought them all on stage. Iron Mike even just put the guitar on the one kid. And he's like, "What do I do?" He's like, "Look, I don't know, have fun. Look cool."
Man, that's awesome. I'm very visual, and I can visualize all that. That's awesome, man. That's a great scene. That's a great picture, man. No doubt. Yes, indeed. So your energy and your music and on stage is infectious, man. So what does it do to you to see your fans reacting to these dope songs you've created?
That's like super endorphin, dopamine, serotonin send out kind of feeling, like just knowing that people are just vibing with what we're doing. Because live is one thing, but then when they're listening to the audio,
yes,
and it's, you know, I think the coolest thing is people will relate to one song a million different ways.
Right,
like,
of course.
Like, for example, like Nirvana, like Smells Like Teen Spirit. That might mean a million different things to compare to what Kurt wrote it about, but just someone might be like, "Oh, dude, that was my high school," or like someone was like, you know. Then you get the post Cobain kids who it's like, I wonder what life like if he was still alive, and they weren't even alive during his time, but they're still Nirvana. Like, I think that's one of the coolest pieces with audio. The audio aspect of the art is that everyone has their own interpretation.
Yes, of course, and we allow them to do that. You know, a lot of times, man. And hey, man, I was just talking to had another conversation with my man Tim from Methane. And he has like his liner notes that he goes out there and explains the song. But as he said, he still leaves room for interpretation. And yes, indeed, man, you don't know what somebody could have been feeling hearing this song or hearing this song. And like when you said Teen Spirit, you know, which I still think is one of the greatest songs of all time to me. You know, I love that song. It's just so much tension and release, and the energy of it is just amazing. So, man, yeah, indeed. So when people hear the name Traverse the Abyss, what should they think about immediately?
Light coming through the dark. That's kind of where the band name came from. Okay. You want to go watch your show? Can I be out in a little bit? Okay. Sounds good. Oh, I know you want Squirtle. She always does this kind of stuff. Once I get settled, she's like, "Oh,
of course.
Come do this." But Traverse the Abyss came from the video game Dark Souls. Our guitar player is real into that. And he called me out of the blue and he said, "Traverse the Abyss." And I was like, "Cool. What the hell is that?" And he's like, "That's our band name." And I was like, "Sure. Where'd you get that from?" So he explained it. When you go into like the boss sections, it's Traverse the Fog. But there's one secret boss or special boss that says Traverse the Abyss.
Gotcha.
And that's where he rolled with it. And so my artistic interpretation to that is you're traversing the abyss. You're going through the darkness to get to the light, riding the roller coaster. And for the longest time, I had a lot of like negativity in my lyrics. That's how I got a lot of the bad stuff out. You know what I mean? Any depression, anxiety, feelings of rejection, failure, such like that. And more recently, I'm actually been way more optimistic and positive. I've been through a whole like mental reconstruction, and that's cool because the newest batch of songs that we're starting to record will be displaying and exercising the positive reinforcement.
Right.
While Ultraverse was like, life is awesome, you can make everything happen, believe in yourself, and the other songs are, I'm gonna kill myself today. I am sad today, I am dwelling on the past. Like, so while the newest stuff, it's more like one cohesive story, but all of it is more positive, and it's funny the way you feel doing the vocals, like in that sense, even like with the anger and stuff too, like using those terms and those type of emotions, just the release afterwards, because it's not bottled up in. And I think that's a problem that a lot of people have, is they get stuff bottled up and they don't find some release for it. And it's always the excuse that I never have enough time. And it's like, shit, I got you. I agree. I totally have 28 hours in my day. You know what I mean? Like, we all have the same amount of time. It all kind of boils down to, like, you aren't as interested as you're thinking, or you haven't realized that you need to be more pushing to stuff.
Indeed. Just like it's a different energy, man. And yes, indeed. There's nothing like being able to release that, or finding something to release that, you know. Yes, indeed. Because I always tell people, man, I'd rather have peace of mind than anything. You know, give me peace of mind. And that makes me feel just fantastico, man, no doubt. So do you create as a collective or present ideas individually as you're inspired?
Well, more or less, it kind of, like, I would say, starts with an individual. A lot of it will stem from Iron Mike will come up with the guitar line.
Okay.
And then he'll be playing that. And then someone will pick, like, usually Dave, the drummer, will pick up onto that. And then once they're going, then Jamie will add in, then Justin, and Big Shit's our bassist. And then I'm usually the very last one. I'll be in the mix when they're writing it a lot of times, but I'm good on building, like, accent pieces. Like, all right, so what if we chop this, or build dynamic? Like, we're writing this breakdown, it's kind of choppy. What if we let it purr for a second, then we pick up? But vocally, I'll do, like, placement words, and then go through and be like, okay, I know it feels good and right when I'm hitting on these pitches. What vowels am I throwing? Blah blah blah. And overall, then I go. My main thing is I let them set the vibe and the tone.
Got you.
Because it's weird for me to just be like, okay, I feel this way about this. We're writing a song in this kind of vibe,
right?
Because then they got to try to match me, versus I'm chameleon, like camouflaging myself into what they're presenting. So if it feels like our song All In, if it feels really happy and upbeat, it's like, all right, then this makes me want to party. That turned into a drinking 100%. Song. 100%. Then our song Ghost, it's like, this is like menacing. This is real dark sounding. And it's like, that's a song that I wrote about fighting with yourself, your inner self.
Right.
You know, and I'm working with people and clients doing, like, mindset evaluation now. And one of mine asked, they're like, well, my problem is that little voice in my head. It always is there telling me I'm going to fail and this and that. She's like, I don't know. I need to learn how to shut it up. And I was like, perfect. Once you figure out, let me know too, because it's always there. It's just mind over matter.
Yes, it did. Oh my goodness. Awesome, man. So how important is the imagery to you, speaking in terms of videos and print?
I guess we're not as materialistic as much with the, like, imagery. Like, we're pretty plain to the point. Like, we like to, we're not stuck in one cliche niche either. Okay. Like, we kind of bounce all over the place. It kind of it reflects with our music and personalities, I would say, as well. Like, the one artist we go through a lot, he lives in the Philippines. He gives stuff a little bit more of a cartoonish vibe.
Right.
But it's his style, which we've been going through for years, which almost makes it into our style.
Your style, right,
in a sense too. Like, and he's pretty good with a bunch of that stuff too. Like, I spitball my ideas, he's quick. Like, we want one. It was like, all right, we used to ride around in a short school bus, and we're like, what if we had one of those and us, all the bandmates, like as cartoons hanging out? And so we did that. And then he did a couple of our different artwork, album art and stuff. But I would say imagery, as long as it's in, we try to make sure it's at least good quality though. Like that, I guess that's the more important aspect, is like the quality of it. Like even on stage, like our visual representation on stage, it's like we wear plain black shirts, or like we're this is a Dirtbag clothing shirt, we're endorsed by them, so like one of us, that's kind of like our rule of thumb. It's like if it's a company we work with or represent, I wouldn't care so much if you wear their stuff, right? But like when you're wearing like a Zildjian t-shirt, and it's like, okay, well, we don't have any association with Zildjian. As much as we would love to, it's like they don't bat an eye at us. You know what I'm saying? Versus like we just recently got one with Smoke Blackcraft. That's Bobby, who owns Blackcraft. He launched a new, basically it's a weed brand. So you got like pipes and grinders, stash trays, but he has apparel as well. So it's
it's all love. Yeah. So you said something a little bit earlier about, you know, the music, and I want to say that what's good about is that you become a part of the music, and you know how you said that they create the music first. And see, yes, when you speak about a chameleon, and I was just talking once again with Tim from Methane, and I was telling him like, hey, I like the way that you ride the track, you ride the music. I think that's so very, very important, because, you know, like some people are listening to the hi-hat, so they're listening. I'm like, what are they listening to have that flow that they have? Because it's so off and so crazy. And it just kind of bothers me, you know, me being the guy that I am, because I'm big into flow. And so you're there in the pocket handling your business, man. So, you know, I salute you on that, most definitely, man. Yes,
yeah, it's cool too, because like each song has a different vibe, different whole atmosphere to it. Yes, indeed. And I like to let that be shown.
And you do it well. Yeah, but it's all love. So how much has your sound matured or changed since the beginning?
Over time, let's see, how do we break this down the best? When we first started, our first album's The Gamble of Life, everything was all our different aspects of metal. Like this song, this one kind of has a pop punk feel. Like, let's do this one like that. This one kind of has a more hard rock feel. This one's more like a rap metalcore. So then the middle, self-titled, which was kind of like a bunch of singles that we had with people throughout the band. Because once we put that first album out, it was just kind of, we played Swap a Guy. It's like, a drummer and bring a new guitar player in and a new drummer, and then new drummer leaves, and then we bring in a different drummer, then that guitar player leaves, and then we bring in another guitar player, then we light him on fire, and then he leaves, and then we've been doing that. So that kind of reflected a lot in I would say definitely the middle EP, the self-titled Traverse one. That one was scattered singles, but it definitely brought a darker, heavier aspect, since the first album was written with one guitar, and then we built everything off over that. Second was, then we did the two. Yes, honey. You got changed already? You ready for jammies? Who's on your jammies? Spider-Man. All right, cool. You can tell who's the favorite superhero in the household. Indeed. So I would say the middle one, it kind of was a little scattered. Then the most recent one, we were kind of going through a phase, because that was like the COVID songs versus like is getting towards a few older members were kind of fizzling out at that time. So it was like, it was definitely our darkest and heaviest stuff, but in comparison to what we're about to be recording, because that's much more matured. I would say the Smiling and the Suffering EP was definitely more ignorant heavy. Like there's a lot more groove, a lot more just like Faucet Mouth that had the part with the gutturals and like the slam riff. Trainwreck was just, everyone's kept saying like, oh, you guys do so much, you do heavy vocals all the time and live. He's like, you got to bust them out in the studio. So that's Trainwreck ended up being just like a we wanted to just take our style of heavy,
Right,
and
right.
so all of that is dark, and it was a good representation of the band because we had everything with COVID, and then we had negativity with members, and we're kind of shuffling around even industry wise, like, all right, like what do we do now that we can't play shows? And then we started learning how to work the internet better. And then we were like, okay, well, now we need to get better visuals, such as like the faucet mouth. We wanted to do kind of just checklisting some of the stuff that we did. So I think Smiling was a good point for where it was, like representation. And now our newest writing is much more matured. It's not as, I know my fans are gonna fucking hold the gun to me at it, but it's not as breakdown oriented. I know. I'm sorry. I miss it too. I love it too.
Damn it, man! I love the breakdown.
It's not as breakdown oriented. Now we've with the change in the current lineup. Now we're a 6-piece band. So we have drums, bass, me on vocals, and then we have 3 guitar players.
Mm-hmm.
And how that incorporates is now we have 2 guitars doing a lot of parts with the harmonies.
Right.
So kind of get that big brightness while one guitar could stay locked in with the bass and keep a nice groove.
Got you.
So super heavy parts.
Mm-hmm.
We could have 2 guitars just keeping ass beater type breakdowns while another guitar adds like an effect or something ominous underneath just to add the atmosphere.
Those sonics, man.
And then there's parts where all 3 guitars are playing stuff in different harmonies and whatnot. So there's much more intricate in the music, which makes me have to be much more melodic. Like in same representation in a lot of our old songs, my vocal range, I kind of fly all over just because of the influences that I had.
Right.
But this one, it kind of cracks into a lot more. I have like singing parts, and then parts that are very soft falsetto. Then there's the one chorus in the opening song. My girl always teases me when my hair's short and I shave my face. I look like Mem Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold. So and they're one of my first metal bands I got heavily into.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah. So
in one of the first tracks, it's the chorus is in that like half scream, half sang. A7X type style, so it's just kind of all over the place. And this side, it's more positive lyrics, so it's much more melodic and uplifting, which I think fits the theme and the transition that I've made mentally in that duration. So we've been a band since 2016. So we have a couple releases, and then in between those we had
singles.
2 different singles.
Yes.
One was Second Place Superstar. That was like right before COVID, coming out of like we just played 2 sold out shows. One with Whitechapel, then one with Motionless in White, which is like they don't play hometown like unless it's a big thing, which is usually even still not Scranton. So this is like their first club show in 9 years since like they blew up. So it was like we played there's still a line around the corner of people to come in, and we played to about 1,200, which is insane.
Man, it was beautiful. I think it's the one that I saw also. It's like, yes, indeed. I was like, oh, this dope, man. And you got energy, and they were into it. Yes, indeed. And well, let me tell you what's so cool. Once again, I'll mention it again. See, you have the conversation where you go into things that I'm going to ask. I was going to ask you about lineup changes, because that's the reoccurring theme with all bands. So many different lineup changes, man. So the guys that you have right now, do you feel that they are definitely the foundation of moving forward to getting what you want out of this music?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask if they're going to be like, this is the forever lineup. And I was like, that I can't say. Not that I don't believe in all my guys, but just because how life evolves and changes, you know what I mean? Like, who's to say 10 years down the road, one of them doesn't have a kid and they're like, you know what? I already feel fulfilled in this aspect and I need to carry on. Like, everyone has their own chapters and stuff. But right now, I feel that the guys that we have on, everybody, and I think that's reflecting back in the music and where we're moving industry wise. Like, we just teamed up with Ryan for management, and now we're building our a better team, which is going to support the upcoming releases that we have and so on and so forth, and potential tours for the future and whatnot. So I think how everybody is together right at the moment, and everyone is pretty quick to help. Like, I'm the most social media versed out of the group.
Gotcha.
So I will sit with each guy and be like, yo, like, because we always do like little at least quarterly, like, all right, what are your goals?
Okay.
What are your goals for short, medium, long term? 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. What are your goals? And they're always like, I want to get more consistent with social media and stuff. And I'm like, cool. Listen to me. let me your ears. So like what I'll do is I'll take a couple of them guys on the side and be like, oh, well, yo, check this out. If you switch your Instagram to a business account instead of personal, you can view your insights.
Yes.
And then when it's like that, you could chain it from you could change your Instagram to post to your Facebook, same with your stories. So you just got to post on Instagram and it'll post to both of them.
Right.
But then some of them will show me some cool stuff with that. Like Jamie came up and he's like, I noticed with that, some people aren't able to see it or something like that. So he's like, I checked the settings. And when I did that, it only comes up as friends only on my Facebook. And I was like, oh shit. Well, now you just showed me something new that actually when I do that on my personal, to switch it over to public and not just.
Yes, indeed.
So it's, you get them involved and then they start learning their trips. Mike's very well at driving. That's like his thing. He could drive with the trailer, drive the bus and whatnot. Cause we bought a bus off the old band that we used to be in, and it already has the bunks in it and everything. We got the new trailer, so like we're road ready.
Yes,
it makes it easy on weekends too because we're not spending hotels each night. But he'll, if it's like just a straightaway for a little bit, and it's nighttime, he'll be like, "Yo, hop over. I'll sit right next to you." Just kind of like Dad when you're learning at like 14, like he's not gonna have you drive and like the roundabouts in downtown New York City or something, you know, it's like get used to it before. So everyone is willing to help teach the others the areas that they want to grow in or need to improve at, which is very awesome. Positive.
Yeah. Beautiful team, man. It really does take that team to grow and get to that next level. There's no doubt about it, man. There's no doubt about it. So music is my crazy. I truly love all genres of music. What is your crazy, meaning something you're beyond passionate about? It may be music, but is there anything else that may be your crazy?
Oh, I love music. I'm pretty straightforward. I got a couple of easy pages. I love music. I love sex and women. I love weed. I love video games, and those are your crazies, huh? Those help me tick. Besides that, I always in my journal every day. I write down like a recap of the day before, and then I write at least 2 sentences of what I'm grateful for, which is always starts with family, friends, and my supporters and their health.
That's awesome, man, because that's going to be a good book, man, when you finally write that, man.
It helps me keep me in line with the calendar as well as like just being gratitude, because it helps, especially doing that first thing in the morning. Writing actually, like first thing in the morning, shakes out the grogginess because it's slow information passing from your brain to your hands to paper.
Right.
But showing gratitude first thing in the morning, because you're just kind of setting the bar. It's like, oh, I could not have heat, and this house could be fucking freezing right now, but I'm cozy with my bathrobe on and I have water. Like, so like, even I tell those guys, because I make them do it every morning, and I post on like our Discord group, Facebook, Twitter, all that shit. I just go, morning, what are you grateful for today?
Right.
And everyone just answers it for themselves, and I'm like, you don't even know I'm inadvertently getting you guys to set your day up better. Because when it puts on that perspective, like, shit, yeah, I cannot have food right now. Or like, I remember when I was at X low point and now I'm not there, or I'm like way beyond, or I'm where I wish I was 10 years ago. Like, it gets that perspective and kind of keeps you centered and able to stay focused on tasks.
Awesome, man. That is definitely awesome, man. It's a great way of thinking, great perspective, man, no doubt. And so to date, what has been your best performance? You probably had a million of them, but what has been your best one? Most memorable one, man?
My favorites, a couple of my favorites, the Motionless in White show, just because that was like one of the first times that it was like a like what you're doing is doing well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it was a direct sign that hard work was paying off on our end, because there could have been, they could have just had a couple of their friends play. Like there could have been any band, period, but we got to play like right before them. We were the co-headliner.
That's awesome.
And so that one was up there. There was a battle of the bands we did up this area, and it was a local thing that actually Chris from Motionless in White was one of the judges.
Mm-hmm.
And during our set, the power cut.
Yes.
So the bass and guitar on the right-hand side, they're looking over, they're fiddling their amps, and the power died.
Right.
So all he has is our drummer and our other guitar player. My mic is dead. And it comes in our song Dead Weight. There's this part where it's just drum and bass.
Yes.
And then we hit the breakdown. And I was like, I don't even got a mic. And the crowd just started singing the part for me. And I was like,
man, oh man. That's
like,
awesome.
This is out of all the things that could have happened. And then we, like, by the time they fixed the power, it was like almost over what our time would have been. And we're like, all right, let's ask the judges. Can we like do half of another song just to make up for that? And they all gave us the thumbs up and whatnot. And so that was a cool night. That was another sign that our fan base was growing. Yes. Last night was actually fucking pretty awesome. We played at the L in Horseheads in New York, and we opened for Bleed From Within. They're on their tour at August Burns Red. Right. But almost that whole bill we got to play with, except ABR, who's from our home state. Oh, you got Spider-Man too? Yeah. The black Spider-Mans. Yeah, you got him in the negative suit too. Yeah, well, he's probably on the air fryer too. So those ones were up there. Let's see what other ones were fun. Almost a lot of the, honestly, that one's up there. We opened for Attila. It was October in 2021.
Yeah,
and it was like right when shows were actually like really starting to build with like tours and stuff again.
Yes.
So like everyone was real show hungry. Like,
yes.
And one of the bands got in some trouble or something in the lineup, so they didn't play, and our time slot got bumped up.
Yes.
And we played to like a full room, and they all thought we were part of the tour packages. I still in like Discord right now, I could go and there's at least 3 or 4 people from that show that talk to us almost daily. So that the shows like that where you play and the people are like following you from years later. Like I have fans from and friends from the Motionless show, and that was in 2018.
Awesome.
So it's just like those type shows. It's like, again, it almost relates back to the music. It's like that show meant something different to all those people. You know, I mean, there's people who they've been to every Motionless show. There's people that was their first time ever seeing them, or even taking their kids to a show. Some people that's their first experience of a concert, and I helped build that memory. So it's like that kind of stuff. So in a sense, all the shows have their special moments, but the big ones like that were like larger bands that we've listened to come down. Like yesterday, the dude from Bleed From Within goes over, he had the Scottish accent because, you know, right from Scotland. He's like, you're the vocal for that band, for Traverse the Abyss? Bro, your fucking voice is incredible. And I'm like,
that's amazing, man.
Like I was probably beat right on. Like my thought is like this dude's with like Jake Lures and fucking, oh my god, my brain's skipping, but like he's around ABR and Prada like day in day out on tours, and they're very consistent vocalists. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to get a bad August Burns Red performance. Like Jake is going to be on, you know what I mean? So it's like to hear a compliment like that, that's very, very humbling.
Listen, indeed it is. And embrace that, man. Embrace it and know that you know, and I know you do have it when you have the confidence. It doesn't matter who you get on that stage with. I can tell that you guys do you. You do what you do best. And that's what stands out because you're not trying to be like anybody else. You guys are really having a great time, and it shows through the music, which goes into my next thing is how does it feel to be on stage when everyone is in tune, on the same page and on the same word? Because that's what it feels like you guys are.
It's like a moment of harmony. It's just like when you get up there and you like throw your hands up and they all throw their hands right back up, and it's just like the connection's there. And one thing I tell bands that when I coach them and stuff, I was like, never just ask the band, the crowd to do shit, dude. I'm like, just you tell them they're there for you to instruct them on what to do. Like jump up.
They want to be entertained. That's right. Yeah.
Be the maestro, wave the wand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
100%. Yes, indeed. So what has been the most difficult part of your journey as a musician?
I think it's the ever-growing de-evaluation of music from people just downloading it to now it's like with TikTok, you know, like it's more like you get more views lip syncing over a song and dancing than actually like, hey, I picked up an instrument and learned this. So I feel like the value of music is continually decreasing while it's the most consumed form of entertainment. If you're listening to podcasts, you know, they probably have the little while it's bleeding in, or in between intermissions at the games, you know, they're playing music about. So it's
of course
everywhere, even not a song like that you hear constantly, but it just in generalized, just it's music and sound is everywhere, but it's the most like underpaid. But
especially for the artists,
like one of the most emotionally valued, because you know people get really diehard about it. So I think it's dealing with that, and then especially when you pour your heart and soul into it, and you just see people do like not just blatant. I try not to think like negative wise, or try to think of a better way to describe it. Like you see people like a lot of people will knock the trap artists because they'll like. It's like the whole fucking song he mumbled 4 words, and it's like, well, you gotta hate it because it's catchy and it's sold. You know what I mean? Like that's why you're mad.
Right,
like,
indeed.
You spent 90 hours on a guitar solo. He mumbled, motherfucker, fuck it up, and you just sold. You know what I mean? Like it's so you got that, and then I go off on tangents because I stream on Twitch a few nights a week. I have my personal channel and then the bands as well. And like one of my main things is like, entertainment has no schedule anymore. Gone are the days really of like, I'm home Monday from 9 to 11 to watch Monday Night Raw. Once Raw is done, I'll meet you at the bar. We'll rage, we'll do whatever. But during that 2 hours, fuck off. I'm doing my thing.
Yes. That's
gone. Now it's everyone can do anything. You're always available because you have the phone going like it. And I think that's the thing too, is we're constantly available with the phone, so it's just like you can't have a section where you just turn it off because it's why aren't you messaging me? Right, indeed. It's like, well, because I wanted to break my phone away from my phone. I think that's another thing too that struggles is using technology and not letting technology use you. Like I use slinging phones for Verizon for a while, and it's like, how important social media to you? And they're like, I don't give a fuck. I hate Facebook, and I'm like, what else do you do on your phone? And they're like, well, I take pictures and I post videos and stuff. And I'm like, what other apps do you have? Like I got one for yoga. I have my language learning apps. I have design apps. Like, so basically you're telling me the only thing you're doing is TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter that you just referred to me that you don't care about at all.
That's right.
But you are willing to hand me $900 right now for that iPhone 14.
Yes.
So I think that's the thing is like, that's one thing I show my bandmates is like sculpt your social feed. The more stuff you engage with of that, you're going to get more.
Of course.
So if I'm going through and I'm liking every girl with big titties,
that's what they're going to.
I'm going to have a great time when I go on Instagram. Same thing. You go on Facebook, if you're reacting and talking and going in musicians groups and stuff, then when you scroll, you spend those couple minutes, you're not going to get maybe nonsense feeds or like not being that way, but like your friend from high school who you didn't really talk to then, but he keeps up with you because he likes your posts because you're in a band now. You know what I mean? You're not going to really see his post versus to like promoter A had band drop off, someone interested. 100%. Hey, looking to promote bands on this playlist, or, you know what I mean? Or better yet, look at what your friends are doing, because that's the biggest mystery of the industry is like, whoa, well, how did they get on these shows and stuff like that? Or how are they playing here? And it's like, well, what's the dates on the flyers? Are they blurred out? No, they're playing at Angels Rock Bar in Maryland, and then Bad Habits in West Virginia, and then Love Drafts in Harrisburg. And it's like, well, are you in the same genre? Yeah, we have the same sound. Well, don't you think those venues might take you too?
Right.
Like if you maybe type on their thing and find their email or a phone number and call them, or, you know, they might be interested. Oh yeah. Well, we have another metalcore package coming through on 6/14. Would you be interested in that? It's with this band. Like that's one of my favorites is everyone is happily advertising everything to do.
Yes.
Oh, dude, we just dropped a cover song and then it got on Sumerian Records Spotify playlist. Huh. I shouldn't do that for shit. That sounds like a terrible idea. That worked for those guys. Let's not do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's my whole motto has always been monkey see, monkey do my way. It's exactly like you mentioned. We don't want to copy paste whatever the people are doing. We'll take aspects of our ideas, but we like to just make it.
And that's what you're doing. You make it your own.
Yeah, we just 100%. Do it our shit.
Oh man, look, listen. Beautiful segment. Beautiful words, but that was great right there. Yeah, listen, all of it's been great. And I can see that you've done your research and you've done your studying and you know, so you can grow. You want to do that, man. And listen, I applaud it, my brother. I really, really do. So what has been the most rewarding part of your journey as a musician?
Most rewarding. Just hearing that people, like I said, people are enjoying and vibing with the art. Again, to reference the show yesterday, we had a kid come up and we're so used to everyone, if they come to the merch table, they know us because we don't hide. We at the moment don't have like a merch guy, merch girl. Like we just, I get off stage, I grab my mic. I have 5 other guys to handle equipment. I beeline to the table. And I'm, you just got off stage. Yeah. What can I help you with? So I go and play face. So, and we had a kid yesterday come in and he was like, oh, Traverse the Abyss. He's like, these dudes are sick. And our guitar player just looks up and he smiles. He's like, oh, you like that band? And he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, you ever see them before? Because, you know, he's all smiles because I'm always talking to people. So I get, and not being like that, but like I get to hear it more often than those guys.
Yeah.
And so he's all smiles. And I was looking and he's like, yeah, he's like, I saw that they're playing at a festival I'm going to, the Incarceration Festival in Ohio, and I've been jamming them on the playlist. I think they're fucking great. He's like, I don't even listen to the headliner. I don't know what they sound like. He's like, I hope they're good. I came to see these guys, and we're like,
fucking awesome.
Really? Like, get the fuck out of here, really? And they're like, that's us. And he's like, and we're like, but yeah, like that. That's another rewarding one too is Incarceration. We did these DW Presents Battle of the Bands. And basically you put in your stuff for submission. Then the chat votes if they like it or not. And we did it. We usually got very positive responses. And the last submission we did for Incarceration, we got voted no. And I met Josh Balls. Well, he's from our area, but like everyone thinks like, oh, we're buddies with him. And it's like, the first time I actually messaged him about anything, honest to God, was today. Besides for that, I let him do his own thing. He's a busy fucking dude. He don't want bothered. And, but they were watching bands in Harrisburg. And the promoter said like, hey, bands, like this is probably a good one to market yourself at. You got people from DW and you got the owner of Blackcraft are going to be here. And I was like, I asked the bandmates, I'm like, anyone want to come down with me? It's a Thursday. And they're like, no, it's 2 hours away. I got work the next day. I was like, yeah, me too. I don't know. Something about this feels right. And I drove down there and I was passing out cards and the demo of what was to be Smiling and the Suffering. And I love to tease him. I saw a guy with the cool guy haircut. He had the blonde hair. And I was like, he looks important with his tattoos. Yeah. You know, I sit up. I was like, he looks important with his tattoos. I was like, let's go give him a CD. And I was like, you probably don't give the slightest fuck at all, but I play in a band from the area, and I am going to see if you want to give the CD and check it out. And he was like, actually, I give quite a lot of fucks. And they explained that they do the battle of the bands and stuff. So just that night, he was like, he's like, this kid had the drive. He's like, his band didn't even play.
Right.
And what are you doing? Music. Yes. Go ahead. The drums are about to start. The most expensive instrument possible. What does she like? The drums. But I went down there and like he was braving on the stream. He's like, this dude's band didn't even play. He drove 2 hours on a weekday by himself. He's passing out cards, hanging out, talking to everybody. And then we got played on there. We got like said positive response, but then for that bracket, everyone was like, oh, why don't you play Trainwreck on there? And I was like, I don't know. The other songs have like the funnier visuals, like with the video and stuff. And they're like, nah, ass beater heavy, bro, all day. And I was like, okay, next one I'll throw Trainwreck in. Yeah. And we did, and it was like 67% no. Like, and I was even surprised, and all my bandmates were like, because I sent them, I was like, we're fucking live, we're live. Like, get on the stream. Right. And I was dropping my son off. I was doing the exchange with his mother. Yeah. I saw it was no, and I was like, son of a bitch. Yeah. But I was like, what could you do? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of my mentality is like, what could I always take everything as a lesson to learn?
Life lessons, of course. No regrets.
And so I was like, all right, well, my brain's already going like, all right, well, I think we maybe needed to promote it better, blah, blah, blah. Cause like we did really well in the last one. We were almost in the finals to play at Louder Than Life in Kentucky. Yes. And I was just about to get done. I heard something about golden ticket and that Josh and Bobby were like, yeah, maybe. And I was like, wait, what? So we do the exchange and I get back in and my phone's on a fucking advertisement because I wasn't subscribed. I know, shame on me. But I'm messaging. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are saying. I see something about a golden ticket, and they're like, yeah, Eric, you're still on the stream. Here's the number. Call us. I want you to call us and tell us why your band should get a golden ticket and stuff. So I'm in the phone, like my daughter's behind, I have wifey drive, and she wants to listen to Seether on full blast. So she gives me the look, and we're driving home. So I had to call into the DW guys and give them the rundown of like the band and everything. And Bobby was like, this band, he has a hustle. I like where his mind is with all this stuff. He's like, I'm going to give these guys a gold ticket.
Awesome, man.
Ended up into us winning the whole battle, and we got a time slot at Incarceration Festival this July in Mansfield, Ohio. And our date alone is a 3-day festival. Our date alone is Slipknot, Megadeth, Flyleaf, Asking Alexandria, Bush, Wage War, War. Like
goodness.
Me too. They teased on everything that morning. They teased. It's just one of those days, and I was like, cool, we're playing with Limp Bizkit. Like I like them. I can get down with that, but that's who I was hoping for, like Pantera, Lamb of God, that's Saturday's headliner. Right. Limp Bizkit ended up being Fridays. We got the itinerary like 15 minutes before our announcement, just in case any bands try to fucking leak something. Like I know how NDAs and all that go. I was like, all right. And I knew we were playing Sunday, and I just saw Sunday Slipknot, and I was like, oh my fucking, like out of all the bands you could, that is the one that 12-year-old Eric heard the Heretic Anthem, and I was like, like, oh, that. So like, then I just reading the list, and I'm like, I'm playing with the bands I listen to with on the radio, and like my Warped Tour band, like Asking Alexandria. Like I remember them were like the biggest fucking thing in like 2009, 2010 Warped Tour circuit. Like,
amazing, man. No doubt. Well, look, young man, you once again, you answered so many other things we don't even have to talk. You talked about your the gamble of life, smiling and suffering, which was great. Also, I love what you've done. I love how you've handled your business, man. It's been a great conversation, even with your princess there too. It's all love, man. It's all a part of the show. I'm taking none of this out. All this is good. The Husky and the Princess. That's a movie. That's a movie. That's a Disney movie.
Here's the boy.
Yes, indeed.
Boy, Hookie D.
This is the puppy.
Yeah, the puppy demon.
So,
true.
What can we expect from Traverse the Abyss in the near future?
Well, we have some cookies in the oven, as I like to put it. Sorry, buddy. We got, I'll drop the line. We recorded a cover. Mm-hmm. We only have played one cover song live, and that was our first 3 shows, which is Born to Be Wild. We redid it. It already has the chug, and I do the high scream that kind of matches. It was fun, but we scrapped it. Not my choice. I'd like to bring it back, but we did take a song that on artists, everyone was like, yo, you guys should totally cover one of their tracks. So we listened, and now our main talks is band to play homage. What? I see the doggy. Band to pay homage. I would like to redo a classic rock or metal song and do it in our style.
Okay.
And then I would like to take a song that's not our genre and redo it. So that's like 3 of the type of covers that I would like to do.
Gotcha.
Honestly, yearly.
Okay.
Like that's a stretch, but that's at least yearly. I would like to do that just because we say cover song, then they go, as they lay dying, all that remains, August burns, and it's just like, yes. There's so many yeses, but finding the right ones is
I feel you.
Besides for that, we have a 5-song EP that we're going to be tracking.
Okay.
Probably if that, I'm like, we're going to show this fucking end of April already. Oh my God.
Getting there, bro.
Well, towards May and June, because we wanted to try to get that tracked before Ink in July. That's at least the game plan. Gotcha. So we'll have a brand new release coming out, 5 songs. We have a couple cover songs. Just a whole new brand. Our guitar player, he got a screen printing machine.
Awesome.
And that's where I work at the moment, is I work at a print shop. So I'm taking all the knowledge I got from there. So we can make our own merch and make merch for other bands. Basically our sense is gone are the days of being a band. To make it actually like your profession, you need to be branded. So that's why we got, if merch wise, it's from hat down to, I'm gonna be doing socks. Fuck it, head to feet. We have coffee. We do live streaming. We do just all around. We have enough sound gear where we could host local shows that we're not even performing at. So just in a sense, we're just building it as the business, Traverse the Abyss brand.
Yes, I got you.
All awesome. Areas that.
No, that's that. And listen, that's awesome, man. So the last question, we're gonna get you up out of here. What's the last song you listened to?
What was the last song I listened to? That one's not mine. That was Wife's. I was gonna say, because it would have popped right on Spotify, so it's not on that account. You can tell I'm terrible. VV Sepulture by Fight From Within.
Oh my goodness. I'd love to ask this question to everybody. It's always my last question. And it is almost always never something that you know. But we as musicians, the stuff that we listen to is just crazy sometimes. And I'm not a genre snob, so I listen to everything. So I like to know, because you might give me something new that I haven't heard that I want to go listen to. So of course I'm gonna go listen to that also.
Those are our boys from upstate New York. Yeah. Those were some of the guys I was talking to yesterday. They came out to the show and everything. It was like when you meet your internet friend for the first time. Like me and their vocalist Mikey. We have a little Blue Ridge dad bod group where we kind of keep each other in line. Like, yo, I did my cardio today. Did you? And then Lewis will send a thing of his bike that he's out biking. And then Mike will be like, hitting the gym after practice. So we keep each other kind of build buddy styles. But we actually got to meet and chill in person yesterday. But that's I like a bunch of their stuff. So I was jamming those guys. I honestly, I 100% thought it was going to be a song by the rapper Prof. I've been jamming him nonstop, like Andre the Giant and Light Work. Oh my God, those are my jams right now. That's
love, bro. So if you wouldn't mind, please give my listeners and viewers your contact and social media info.
Oh, we are just about everywhere. Traverse the Abyss, Scranton, PA. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just about everything's at Traverse the Abyss Official. We're on TikTok. We have funny music videos on YouTube. We're on Spotify, Apple Music. Honestly, one of our main ones is traversetheabyss.com. That is our merch store, our email list, the whole shebang, one-stop shop. With there, the cool thing with that is we have a bunch of designs and merch that will not be on our table because they're like digiprint stuff. Like I work at screen print where it's easier to do maybe up to 3 colors and make it look poppin' versus like you take the whole smiling artwork and you can just get that digitized on a shirt. So there's an array of products. I mean, we got fucking, like I said, we're branded. We got pillowcases on there. There's like this ugly ass blue tie-dye hat. Like it's just the works is on our website. But again, you can subscribe to our email list. You can find us on Twitch. I stream there on Thursday nights at the moment. So we're just, if it's Traverse the Abyss, if it's not Dark Souls or Destiny, those video games, probably us.
Well, awesome, man. I just want to once again thank you, man. It's been a true pleasure and an honor to have you here.
Oh, I had a blast, man. Thank you for having me.
And once again, I hope you were comfortable, man, because I just like to have a conversation. And I thank you for your openness. And it was a good time, man. I mean, it was a great time to be honest with you, man. And thank you very much. I was entertained just having the conversation, my brother.
Oh, dude, that's what it's about. Yes, so many times I do like podcasts and stuff, and they're like, you make my job easy. You can talk a lot. You answer the questions. So it's like,
yeah, man, just going to be open, man. It's a good thing. So, hey, I appreciate you, man. Thanks again, bro. And once again, anytime you want to come and just let it be known, man, I got you. We're family. It's all beautiful, brother. Yeah,
maybe once we're prepping onto that release, maybe pre-release or right around that time, we could get a little check.
Yeah, man, let me know. Like yeah, indeed. No question. I got you. It's all up.
Sounds like a plan.
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know who it is. It is yours truly, the Lord. Pause. Nelson, that is. Hi. From the podcast Live and Loud with the Lord on the CMS network with 5 Royals Entertainment with the amazing Eric Abyss. I love it. Eric Abyss from Traverse the Abyss. Yeah. Awesome, my brother. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Until next time.
Yes, indeed. Be good, bro.
got one thing left to say. Fuck what you think of me. 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 Fuck what you think of me.
Turn it up. You're listening to Live and Loud with the Lord, Nelson, that is.